Welcome back, organizational behavior students. This is Mr. Argueta. We have entered week number 3. So here we are in week number 3. Wanted to just touch base with you. Hopefully everyone's doing well. We've gotten the hang of things now. I will be going back and reading your discussions for the previous weeks and trying to put some grades in. Be patient. It takes me a while to get through everybody. I know you want your grades right away, but to read through all the discussions takes a little bit of a time. So it might be a delay before we get that grade. But other than that, I am working on that. This week, week number 3, here's what we got. We are going to be working in chapters 5, which talks about employee engagement and talks about emotions and what influences motivation. We'll be discussing some of Maslow's theories in this, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a very interesting topic that I always enjoy bringing up in my classes. I think it's an important topic to understand in business. Maslow is one of those I guess, topics that come up over and over again when it comes to our management process. And what we found is that many of the students that actually take in psychology has seen this, and this is what we're looking at, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And what Maslow basically says is that every one of us has one of these needs, and as we fulfill the bottom need, we move on to the next need, and to the next need, to the next need, till we reach the top of that pyramid, which is self-actualization. Now, Maslow also suggests that not many of us make it to that self-actualize level, but that, for example, the need to have a safe environment and security has to be fulfilled in our lives to motivate us in order for us to move on to the love and belonging need, and then to the esteem need. So Maslow, very interesting fella. So I think you guys will have a good time reading through that and understanding his needs. He talks about, also we're going to talk about the intrinsic and extrinsic need, or not, excuse me, intrinsic and extrinsic motivation factor. For example, you on the weekend going to serve food in a soup kitchen. What motivates you to do that? It's only an intrinsic need. You feel inside of you a reward that makes you feel good, and therefore you are motivated to do this extra work. Extrinsic is something that is motivating you from the external. If you get a raise at work, it's an external reward, and that external reward or extrinsic reward lasts very, very short as a motivator, short time, where an intrinsic reward lasts a lot longer. So understanding what motivates people and how we get employees engaged as managers is going to be a very important topic for those of you who are studying to become managers. In chapter 6, we're going to talk about the rationale of making a decision, what that comes to, how do you get to that point, some of the decisions that you make, and why do you make the decisions that you make. We discuss in other courses what would be considered the ethical views of decision making. How do you make a decision? Why do you get to that point? But this one's going to go a little more into the role of emotions and how it plays into the decision in your life, the roles of habits, and all the different reasons why you decide the things you do. Now, that all being said, since we're organizational behavior class, we're also going to talk about something in our discussions called the power poses. Now, this is a great study that was conducted by Dr. Curdy, which was really phenomenal, because it's something we've talked about in other areas of business, but fake it till you make it. It's one of the concepts that we've had. And, you dress the part you want to become, all those different things. And where does that come from? And she goes through it and she describes what her studies are. Phenomenal thing. And I think it'll be something that you should use, that you should put as a practice in your own life. We talk about this a lot in Intro to Business, about body language and all the different things that does to us, but to others as well. So I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about this. If some of you have put it into practice, if some of you use these techniques, I think it would help, especially if you're going to go into a job interview. So after you're done, obviously reply to your classmates If you're watching this video, reply to this video. And I think that's about it for the most part, guys. What do I have? In my life, we got some coffee always available for you. Today is a pretty chilly day. It is Monday the 18th. It's pretty chilly day. I have noticed a trend out there, guys. That some of you have noticed me in the communities. I had one of my students in this class said that she might have saw me in a taqueria, a Spanish taco house in Calhoun. If you do run into me, please come introduce yourself. I would love to meet you. It's always exciting to meet the students. You obviously get to see me via this forum and through YouTube or through whatever, Blackboard, but I don't get to see you necessarily, so I don't know what you look like or who you are. So it's a very interesting relationship. I try to share some of my personal life with you guys on this format. That way we feel a little more connected. But all I could do is read what you put out there. So if you do see me in the community, either Dalton or Murray County or Catoosa or Floyd or Calhoun or wherever, Walker County, please stop me and say, are you Mr. Argueta? I am pretty easily recognizable. And I mean this not because I think of myself highly, but as some of you might know or might not know, I was born with one hand. So therefore, it's easy to know if that's me or not. But if you see me out in the community, stop me, talk to me, introduce yourself. I would love to meet you guys. If you're ever in the Dalton area, my office is in room 638 in building B. And I'd be happy to sit down and chat with you guys and offer you a cup of coffee and chat up life. Guys, that is about it for this video. I appreciate your time. Thank you for your efforts. I'm looking forward to your discussions. Have a wonderful day. Take care, and we'll see you next week.